we're seeing the exact same thing in money, and this is why Bitcoin has emerged as a way to separate money from state, because they're using money, and we're seeing it more and more every day as a way to corrupt, control, censor the populace. Right? So it's literally history repeating itself at the next layer, like so many things throughout history. It's these cycles. And here we are again, and this is why it's so important for humanity to separate money from state, to get it back, to get back sovereignty, to get back property rights, to get back your control. And it's, right, when you start to think about CBDCs, you start to think about financial censorship, what happened with the truckers in Canada. We all know these things. We've all seen these things. It just becomes more and more evident that the fight is here. And if we don't push now, we could lose it forever. So we have to push hard as we can to make sure that this future exists for everybody.
Yeah. When you say this, I think about, perhaps people are listening and think about, oh, this is such hyperbolic talk, right? Kind of doom and gloom, etc. It's funny because I sometimes have thought that of other people. I don't think this is doom and gloom. I think it's very rational. It's just very unemotional, just looking at not what people say, but looking at what they are doing, right? And I think too, when I think about the size of this, right, like where are we? I think we touched upon spirituality also a bit, right? Like I feel lots of arguments, and maybe you experienced that too, or before, when you pitched in your TradFi career Bitcoin, and people say, well, but we cannot talk about that, right? Like the people are so stuck in what is created around them that they are not even aware of the fact that they are stuck. Therefore, they're also not questioning it. But when they hear something like this, what we are talking about, right? I sometimes feel like people have like a Disney view of the world, right? There's a good guy, there's a bad guy, and I'm probably not on the side where the bad guy is the boss, right? Something like that. So whenever you hear people talk like this, I think it's as simple, or maybe it's complicated, but as that, right? It's just the dissonance. It's just. I don't want to believe that I'm a subject in, what this Paul guy is now sharing, right? And that's an easy cop out. It's the easy choice, hard life, right? The easy cop out gives you a hard life because you still don't understand why your groceries are 4 times as expensive as 4 years ago, But once you do make the hard choice to be like, okay, well, let's see how this works then, or let's see what people do and what I actually think about it and what it does for me or against me or whatever. You start with a blank slate, I think. This is for me why it's so big. It's a spiritual thing eventually.
It's also difficult to break into their matrix, right? Because their wall, their feed. Oh, I have visitors. Hi, puppies. How are you? I've got. I'm sitting in our studio to be, and have visitors right now. So don't mind the commotion around me. But so to break into their matrix, to break into their feed, right? They've got their social media, that's their algorithm that's feeding them whatever they believe, whatever they want to interact with. And so to throw this into the system outside of their existing matrix, it's really incomprehensible to them, right? It really disrupts, and it's hard for them to absorb the matrix that we're living in every day, or the algorithm we're living in every day. So what I have found is that just being me, as crazy as they might think I am, and ignoring it, and talking about this stuff in front of them while their phone is on, and getting them to engage with me, eventually that stuff starts to hit their wall. It starts to hit their algorithm.
Yeah.
And then they talk with me for a few times, and then months later, they're sending me posts from TikTok or from Facebook about some bit of corruption, I'm like, aha, I entered your algorithm, right? I'm in your system now. And now you're starting to see the things that have been in my feed for years. So I feel like it's not all for naught, right? We don't have to orange pill them immediately, but we can plant the seeds, and that seed starts to grow inside their algorithm, and they start to wake up. And this is why I think this is sort of like the pushback that the powers that be are seeing when they implemented the COVID operation, let's call it, when they implement, any of these corrupt activities. When people like us come in and try and wake them up, or we send them, we text them a link and they click on it, we're dripping that into their feed. And if they engage with it, it's going to increase the engagement. And so it's a way to sort of hack their system without them even knowing it.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest ByteFederal ATM and turn your cash to coin. ByteFederal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.